the topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause, we doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar pointing you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on
Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Man Talk Mondays. We are back once again. I'm Derek, the thought engineer, here with my man, the man with the plan, comedian, John Yogi.
What up? What up, good people? How y'all doing on this Monday's Eve? After the work day done beat you down, slide on in here to Man Talk Monday.
Yeah,
we got a great one for you guys tonight, man. I'm just anxious to be here. We've been talking about this series for a little while. So
right, we finally taking off with
it. Ready to get into it, man.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Let me just let everybody know, for those of you just joining us for the first time, this is Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we give you the real realities of relationships, but we do it from a man's perspective. Now, keep in mind that the conversation is not just for men. We want everybody to join in, men, women, boys, and girls. You can join in. How you do this, you go into the comment section, leave your comment, leave your question. We can see it, and that's how you talk to us. We got Miss Karen. What's going on, Karen? Thank you for coming in. So we're not gonna waste time.
We're not gonna waste no time.
We've been waiting on this one.
Yes, we're waiting on this one.
Trying to get this one going. Yes. So we're gonna jump into this. So recently we did a episode, how to know if you're a side chick. You know,
that was a good one. I'm gonna tell you something. There was a lot of good information.
Yes,
you let me know that I wasn't a side chick, and I appreciate that. I really do, because I was kind of uncertain for a little while about it. But hey, man, awesome job with that. Awesome job.
But I dropped a little revelation, just a moment of honesty during the show, and I'm going to show you. And this clip sparked something. I put it out on TikTok, and it sparked something which led to this conversation. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play the clip so you can get some context as to where we're coming from. Love my mama to death. You know what I'm saying? My mom was a great woman in the whole nine. But when I look at the situation, that's what the situation was with my mom. It was a side chick situation. And that's why I say the kids suffer. The kids suffer.
I think way more than is imaginable, because you don't think that Mr. had the conversation on the way over here. We are born into our parents' decisions.
Oh,
we die by ours.
Boy.
And it's like, wow, if you knew that you being a side person and you compromising what you believed in was going to result in a generation of women and men that were going to suffer from it, would that make you think differently about it? Or would you still want to do you and want your way? You know, let me say this. You know it's cold when you can pull your own clip. I was thinking that we was going to pull a clip from somewhere else, and I said, that's us.
Yeah, that was us.
That's
us. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we put that out there, people in the comments, we started getting reactions in the comments. We got people who could relate. We got people who were, they were the illegitimate children speaking on it. We got people who are the legitimate children speaking on it. We got people who had, they were side chicks, man. And everybody started chiming in from their perspective. I'm like, man, this thing stretches far beyond what we thought when we first introduced it. And so we decided to do a series. And we're doing a series called Shattered Bonds, the impact of infidelity on the family dynamic.
Shattered Bonds, BONDS.
DS. Yes.
Not BUNS.
Right. No,
Not
no,
those.
no, not that. Not that.
Those buns were shattered when you was the side chick. Now we're trying to recoup those buns and make those buns better.
So that's how we arrived at this. So we said, you know what? Everybody has something to say. Everybody has a perspective, but we don't know if everybody really understands where everybody's coming from. And we want to bring some enlightenment to just this whole dynamic. But tonight we're focusing on the other woman, the side chick. So we talk about unveiling the other woman, the side chick's point of view.
All right now.
Side chick got something to say.
Side chick got some. Side chicks are people too. Okay.
They are.
They are people too, and they need to be heard. Doggone it. They need to be heard. And tonight is y'all night. We're gonna talk about y'all tonight.
Nita says, I'm here for the comments. So we got people in the comments already raring to go. So that's what we're talking about. And we're going to come from, we got the side chick we're talking about tonight, the other woman. We're going to talk about the wife and the main woman. We're going to talk about the man. We're going to talk about the illegitimate children, the children outside of wedlock. And we're going to get the perspective of the kids
that are in there,
that were in the house, right? And then we're gonna tie it all up in a bow and just see how do we heal from all of this. But tonight, joining us for this conversation, let me tell you, it was hard to try. We tried to find a woman who had that experience that would come on and talk to us about it. Just listen, we're not trying to bash anybody.
We ain't bashing nobody.
That's not. We're just trying to bring perspective so everybody knows what everybody else is dealing with from this whole dynamic.
We had a side chick roll call and everybody was absent.
Oh man, everybody was absent.
Nobody showed up.
And I know, I know we got way more side chicks out there.
Yes.
We couldn't find nobody.
They were not absent. They were not in attendance when we were looking for them.
But let me just the shame of the situation, everybody's not open and honest to talk about it right now. So we said, you know what? Let us bring on a therapist who's counseled women who's dealt with this dynamic. And we're going to let the therapist have this conversation with us. So joining us tonight, we have Miss Genesis Keisha Martin.
Yes.
Genesis
Keisha, y'all.
Therapist. She is a licensed therapist, and out of North Carolina, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And she has 10 years experience as a counselor. She's dealt with all kinds of stuff, mental health, from depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar disorder. She's dealt with a lot of things.
Side chickism. She dealt with all that. She in there.
So we brought an expert in to have this conversation with us. So first off, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I was excited actually to do this tonight. So I'm looking forward to getting into this conversation. How are you two doing tonight?
We are good.
We're doing good. We are excited as well. This is something that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks prior to to June coming. So we're actually really looking forward to it.
Yeah, because when I think about the situation, thinking about side chicks and the other woman, and when I said that about my mom being that woman, I went back in my mind and I could remember just the situation. And my mom was in love with a man she couldn't be with. Mm-hmm. He had his own family and the whole nine, and she couldn't, she never entertained other men. Mm-hmm. Never entertained other men. And I know that she really loved my dad. And this is how I know. It's going to sound crazy, but you let me know if this is something that you commonly see. This is going to sound crazy. My mom still protected my dad. Mm-hmm. She protected his reputation. She protected his image, because my mom waited until my sister and I were old enough to keep the secret before she told us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was 11, and when she told me, she was like, let me sit you down and talk to me about it. But she waited until I could hold the information and not like a little child running, blabbing, telling everybody.
Right.
She waited. So I know she still had these feelings. Is that something that's common with women who are in love with men who are attached?
As well as, before you answer, I'm just throw this in so you can answer this one thing. Why are side chicks so loyal?
Oh, yeah. So those are loaded now. Okay. Yeah.
We loading them up.
Yes. They're related but loaded. So well, you have different type of side chicks. Now, let me just make this clear again. I'm not the side piece. I know it says unveiling the other woman, the side chicks.
Right. We explained, we couldn't find. Yeah, you the expert talking about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So I'm going to talk about some of the clients that I've had. Yes. So you'll have different kinds of side chicks, if you will. You do have those that will be in love with a man, and their relationship can actually be very, very powerful. It can sometimes be even more powerful than his marital relationship.
Okay? Oh, wow.
Yes. And so sometimes when the side chick knows that she's a side chick, there's none of all of that slashing the tire. There's none of all of that. She understands what her position is. And that type of relationship sometimes becomes like a friendship. There's a genuine care for one another and so on, right? So I wanted to say that's one reason, but also she had children. She had you and your sister with this man. Yes. So she's protecting him to protect her children as well.
Oh, wow.
Right.
I did not think of that.
Well, we're about to get into it.
I did not think of that. You just hit me with something a little different. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all supposed to be ready for that. Y'all thought what you think was coming here.
You know what's so great about this? This is what's really great about it. Is we try not to talk about the show because I want to be just as surprised as everybody else is when they hear the comments and commentary that's going on. And to sit and listen to you say that, I'm like, oh wow. Because remember when we did the introduction, I was like, no, I don't want to talk. Yeah. Because I want you to hit us and I want you to see the shock on our face. Like when you said that, I was like, oh wow, that's really good. That's some good stuff.
Let me get the comment real quick from Weeda Wiley. She says the best way to get the side chicks to talk is to interview her privately and play the record. No, so she said as long as they ain't on camera, we can get somebody to talk about it. But
you know what? I think that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I bet they would want to talk, but I do have some information for y'all, so I'm ready for you.
Yeah. Afia says that makes sense. Basically talking about what you said about my mom protecting us. Monique says, wow, yes, a mother will always protect her children. I can definitely see that.
Yes.
All right. So we got that type of side chicken. What's some other types?
So okay, I'm glad you said types, right? Because I'm sure there's a spectrum or a variation of I hate this term, but it is what it is, right? Side chick. So there's a type of side chick that actually enjoys being in that position, right? The ladies, I'm waiting for the ladies. So what it is that they don't have the responsibility of the man and all that comes with you, lovely gentlemen. They don't have that responsibility. What they have is him taking her out. What they have is maybe some wonderful vacations. What they have is he's feeling guilty or he's feeling whatever he's feeling and he's lavishing her with gifts. What they have is a lot of the conversation and the things that he can't necessarily tell his wife at home, right? But they don't have the responsibility of this man. And this is where I need men to understand. The side chick is not loyal.
So she can be side chick to you and somebody else. You know, I won't stand for the cheating. I won't stand for the cheating.
Side chick cheating, right? She could have whatever else that is. What I'm saying is that she knows, this type of woman knows you have a wife. You're home with a wife every night, right? So she can enjoy her relationship with you, but she can also date other men.
Yeah,
And what
we the
she's
Wiley
gonna do-
says, we the Wiley says, get his money, then send his butt home. That's what we the
That's
say.
what she said. See, they know.
Wow.
Wow.
But even if there is a
You know-
genuine relationship, there's still if a woman does not care about all that, right? There is a benefit to being a side chick that some people feel.
You know, it's and I'm being as honest as I can be. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see somebody saying you worry, you take care of him. I'm just gonna be the girl that he takes out. I'm gonna be the girl that spends a little bit of time with him. I'm gonna get the sex that you're not doing, and I'm get the money and the gifts and the vacations and trips. Because man, it's amazing if you get him for 40% of the time, you'll get the best of him.
Yeah.
It's that other 60% of the time that the wife is getting that generally is the problem.
Need she not cheating. You married. She single.
There we go.
No, she
That
cheating
was for
too.
you, Yogi.
No, she cheating too. Come on
Hey,
now.
Wait, who's she cheating on? Who's the side chick cheating on? The married man?
Cheating on the married man.
I don't like the disloyalty with the single chick.
But that's the double standards we carry though.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We carry those double standards all the time. So
you know who carries the double standards?
Who's that?
The men.
What you're not gonna do?
We don't carry them double standards.
I can tell. I can feel it coming toward it. Like no.
I'm gonna back up. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Selena says facts.
Yes.
Oh, and now we're gonna turn it to ain't gonna come for us. Our card. We just says the married man is more jealous of the side chick than the wife.
Absolutely,
because
you think that's yours. Because you think it's yours. Listen, I don't want to. This not me. This my friend.
Yeah,
a friend of mine. Okay,
the friend.
But you feel like that's just as much yours as the wife is.
Yeah.
When you spending money and doing all that you're doing with it, you think there should be some loyalty because that there is a relationship there is feeling there. And you said earlier, you said there sometimes it's just the relationship is just as strong as it is, not more, with the wife.
Yes.
Absolutely it is. And that's normally with the man.
Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Selena says Cheryl Lewis is watching. That's his wife. She's watching. She's
I love that.
Like I said, not me. It's my friend. I'm asking for somebody.
I'm trying to change the code to your phone and all this stuff. But okay. So we got the different variations, and I'm thinking because you said that woman is single, but I like my mom didn't bring any men around us.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see the loyalty, and then I can also see the woman who said, you know what, you got that going on over there, so let me have something going on over here.
Right.
Wow.
That's exactly right. Like
I never thought about that until you brought it, and it would have took a woman to bring it up because I never thought about that.
I never thought about would have other men.
I didn't think she would have another life. Because her life is supposed to be waiting for him to be available for her so she can run to him.
Yes, that sounds good. Wow. That sounds that I'm trying to tell you that there is, and this is with all love, there is a male ego that does not have that type of perspective. You just don't even think about it. Right? Yeah. So, but the reality is, if you look at it logically, and she can never have the holidays. She can never have the Valentine's Day. She can never have you when she needs you, right? Why would she then tell someone no, who might be attractive in whatever way? Like, why would she say no to someone over here?
Yeah, and she doesn't have the public status.
Right.
Especially if you're a man of status, she doesn't have the public status. The wife gets that. Let me get Rita Wiley says, side chicks listen to men complain about their spouses, then do everything to him that wife is not doing. So
this has took a drastic turn. I had an idea on how the show was going. This was not it.
I said a drastic turn.
Stephanie says exactly what you say. Yeah. Monique says
they're coming in.
Yeah, they're coming in. Monique says that's why the side chick term can be very outdated. Most women in this state is not waiting on the married man. She is still doing her.
Monique
we can
is
say,
saying
we say the other woman. We can say the other woman. It's just that's just a
is
common
that what they say
term.
now? The other woman,
the girlfriend.
The girlfriend, just like Pinky said. Man, I got a girlfriend and a wife on the side. You remember Pinky said?
Yes.
So you got people.
Yes.
So I get so let me ask you this. Do women who have found themselves as the other woman, do they find themselves necessary to that man?
That's a good question. I would have to say yes, because I'll start by saying, why is he risking everything?
Yes.
Right?
That's a great question.
Why is he risking everything? So there is something about that relationship. I'm not just going to say that woman, because sometimes it could really be any woman. It's what that woman is providing to him. Okay. So the provision of what she's giving to him is something that's necessary. I'm looking at myself. What happened to? Okay. I don't want to look at myself. So there's something necessary there. All behavior has a purpose. So if he is going to do that, then there is something there that's necessary for him, or so he believes.
Wow. Man.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if we were ready. I don't know if we were ready.
I think we were ready to talk about it. I just don't think we were ready for.
If I could just say one more thing about the loyal piece before we move, because we had talked about loyal, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes it's the person's character, okay? It's the character of the woman, and this is a fact, that says, I'm not going to be with any more than one man at a time. So this is the man that I'm with. It's not the best of situations, but this is the only man that I'm going to be with as long as I'm with him. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
She's not a loose woman.
Yeah.
She's not a floozy, Derek.
Right. She's not loose.
And
CA playing it fast and loose.
She was just with him.
Yeah.
Remember Whitney Houston? Saving All My Love for You. You remember that song?
That song.
That is exactly what we're talking about in that situation.
Oh, wow. And I think people sung the song. I don't know how many people actually listened to the song. Saving All My Love for You, Whitney Houston.
I thought
she was the other woman.
She was absolutely the other woman.
That's all that we said.
She did say that. She did.
You got your family and they need you there.
She sure did say that. Well, y'all are people. I did not know that.
Dude,
yes.
They be setting us up. Monique says yes, and at times it may be much more than sex. It's a great risk to take.
Let me tell you something.
Yes,
because you can find peace in those moments with them. It's not. It's a lot more than sex. I think we want to just make it about sex, but it's way more than that.
Yeah,
you get peace. You can talk to her. You can be with her what you can't be with your wife. What you've been looking for with your wife.
Yeah,
she validates you. She pats you on your back and tell you how great you are and the type of man you are. And that's really all that men want. Most of the time is to be told that we're great, even when we're not.
Yeah. That reassurance is powerful. Cheryl says all behavior has a purpose. That's powerful. She's talking about what you said previously.
I threw in a little therapeutic information.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Yeah.
What he was saying about, the side. We're not going to call it the side chick, but it is on the show.
Right. The other woman.
But there's so many different levels to this, right? So some of those definitions might be appropriate, but not they're patting you on the back, they're giving you all that. But here's the thing: if you shared bills and the bathroom and the house and the garbage and the lawn, with that side person, right?
It would be probably the
That
same way.
relationship would be totally different.
It would be
Exactly.
absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely,
100% different.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we've had that conversation
Yes,
before
we have.
because we've overheard conversations, especially on Clubhouse. You go in those rooms, they talk about some of everything. But I remember hearing this guy talking about this woman, his other woman, and he was like, man, I know she'll ride for me. Man, I know she, I just, she loved me. I love her. I said, yeah, because she don't have to spend time with you.
Yeah.
She gets the best. She gets the fun stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
She don't get the drama. She don't get the, like you
Right.
said, having to pay bills with you. Try,
Right.
she don't get all
have to deal
that.
with your
Worrying about where you
mother-in-law.
at.
Right.
She don't have to deal with the mother-in-law,
Right.
with the other kids. She don't have to deal with none of that. She get
the baby mama from
Yes.
15 years ago. She's doing all that. Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's get to some comments real quick.
Wow.
Weeda says we all know what the side chick is providing, or do I need to tell you?
No,
we don't.
We got a
got it.
therapist on. We got a therapist on, Weeda. We thank you.
Nita
We
says
appreciate it.
character is everything. Nita also says it's greed. You and your spouse can be everything to each other, but yet and still nature, flesh can sometimes overpower your loyalty morals. Let me say something to that real quick, because you have to make a decision to be loyal. You have to make a decision.
Absolutely.
You have to make a decision to be content, because it's not ever going to come from the other person. If you're looking for the other person to make you feel content about the relationship or make you loyal, you ain't going to be loyal.
That's right.
That's a personal decision that you make.
Yes.
And because most people, as long as they're good, they'll be good. But as soon as things go bad, they turn and they go bad.
And also, if you're looking for a reason to cheat, there'll always be one.
Oh man, what you talking about?
There'll always be one. If you're looking for perfection in your marriage, let me tell you now, don't get married, because you're not gonna find perfection in it.
I have something for y'all with that cheating business though. And when there's an issue, let's say, let's talk about the man, right? That there's an issue. The man is unhappy for whatever reason. He has at least 4 choices. There may be more, but I'm going to give you those 4 choices he has.
Okay.
He can do nothing about it and be miserable, and some men do, right? He can leave and say, you know what, this is not what it's not working out, blah, 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 whatever, make a decision and leave. He can work on it by way of either therapy or their own, interactions and trying to develop their relationship further and everything. Or he can cheat. So there's actually 4 main choices. And when I'm talking, usually it's the women that I have that have been cheated on, right? And I will put those 4 choices up on the whiteboard. And I'll say, you have nothing to do with which one of those choices he makes.
So it just at that point, it determines the type of man that he is.
There you go.
Because I believe if he's looking for a reason to cheat, you can marriage will certainly give you one. Because it's gonna be somebody, mama, daddy, uncle, cousin, friend. She going out too much with the girls. She ain't going out. She ain't doing this. She ain't cleaning. She ain't cooking. I mean, I can go all day, but I'm simply saying, even in that, if I'm looking for a reason, and the reason why this is so relevant, because I remember dating, and I remember saying specifically, relationships are all about when I've had enough. I can put up with this relationship as long as I want to. And when I get tired, I can say, well, that's enough. I don't want to put up with this anymore. And marriages are the exact same way. I can put up with it until I don't want to put up with it anymore. Until I'm looking for an excuse to do what I want to do, whatever that may be.
Right. And truth be told, you can justify anything you want to do.
Absolutely.
You can justify it. Doesn't make it right, but you can justify it to yourself.
Absolutely.
Paula says, yeah, she's stroking his ego for a price for what he can provide for her.
Well, yes and no, though, because I don't want to make it seem like that with the other woman. It's all about money, because it doesn't have to be. She could be getting companionship or something else from the guy. And again, it's only part-time. Most people can be perfect part-time.
Yeah.
Well, let me enter another situation here is that sometimes, a woman will meet a man and fall in love and all of the things and become attached and then find out that he has someone else. That happens a lot. So she's not in it for the money in that situation. She got caught up.
And her heart is in it. Her heart is actually
her heart's in there, right? Now they're intimate. So her soul is tied. She's got all that. That happens a lot. And so then that becomes kind of toxic. But I think that probably happens more often than a woman just saying, oh, let me find a married man to take care of me. I think they both happen, but I think women just get caught up with a married man.
No, I'm not going to agree with that. I want to, I just can't. The man in me said, no. I want to believe that the woman knows the man has a relationship and she signed up for that. That's what I want to believe.
That's what I think
sometimes that's true. Tramisha says, what about when men marry the other woman? It does sometimes happen. You're right. It does sometimes happen. But how often does that last?
And not only that, but the relationship is built on something that you can never overcome. They were cheating together.
Yeah.
Is he going to really trust her like he's supposed to? Is she going to really trust him? Because the first time that trouble comes, they're each going to think the other one is going to be tipping out.
100%.
I'm just saying, you don't have
100%, but it does happen sometimes. I have that in my family, and it happened, and they stayed married. I don't know. I would always be side-eyeing every time. Yes,
absolutely.
I'm not even playing with that.
Let me get this. This is my sister. My older sister, Monica. She says, we didn't know that my brother and sister had different dads than my sister and I until my mom got pregnant with Derek, me. We heard people talk about it, but my mom said people will talk. Beverly says, she says, clubhouse relationship rooms will have your marriage all messed up. She ain't lying. I stay out of the relationship rooms. I just stick with Melba Henderson room and play it safe. Nita says, you got to look for the red flags. They are there. Nita, you got to care enough.
Yes.
It ain't that you don't see them. Something is outweighing those flags in your mind at that time.
Well, to that point, it's casual. And if it's casual, I'm not going to pay enough attention to it. Oh, that ain't right. Right. He don't ever call me till the weekends. That don't mean nothing. Right. I can never get a hold of. That don't mean nothing. But when I do get a hold of him, we do this, and this. So it's casual.
It got a whole song. The Weekend. The girl says
yes, exactly.
Because then women will get caught up. Here's the thing: when the side woman gets caught up, when she gets caught up.
Because now her heart is in it. Now her heart is in it. Yeah, her heart is in it now. And now, yes. Absolutely.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
That's not the anomaly.
Stephanie says, just put in the required work to make your marriage work. If you need to cheat, just leave. Right? So she's saying based on those 4 choices, the more noble thing would be to leave than to cheat.
To work on it.
Oh, to work on it. Yeah. Because
but it takes 2 people to work on it.
It takes 2.
And women aren't always the easiest to work with. And let me tell you something. Don't you be coming on here telling me that women are the easiest, because we know they are not.
Well, since I'm a woman, I think that when we have proper communication, women are very easy to work with, right? I think they're good. Well, I think we have the women a little upset a little bit.
They always upset. But let me say this. Let me say this. If you are liking the conversation, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to do something really, really great with the podcast, man, and we need your help. We need you to like, share, and subscribe, and tell somebody about if you're enjoying the conversation today, don't be selfish. Don't you be selfish. Don't you be selfish. You tell somebody about this and tell somebody about what we're doing, because we want to share this with the world. Needs to hear this, and we need your help in order to do that. And we're getting back to unveiling the other woman, the side chick's point of view.
Yes. And
this has been pretty revealing. Go ahead. I said this has been pretty revealing.
So. Danger. I want to talk about the dangerous part.
Oh wow!
Right?
Yes,
just a little bit. So when you're ready to cut off the side woman, what does she have to lose?
That part right there. She has the power to blow up your life.
Yes, she blow the spot up.
Yes.
What is she losing? You don't have you no more. I'm trying to teach.
And you know what? I tell guys, I tell guys, and I warn guys, especially married guys. I say, listen, you do not want to give up that much power in your relationship. I said, because once it's out there, you gonna catch it from both ends. You got her, you got to try to pacify her to keep her quiet. If for her, you in a bad spot. Your wife find out you in a bad spot because she's not gonna ever let you forget that you had an affair. Because it becomes a power play, and we play power plays in relationships all the time. And I tell people, in the absence of trust, you must control. And when it's about control, I gotta have a power play. And so for anybody, be it the man or the woman, whoever steps out, you get caught, they get an upper hand. Now, it shouldn't be that way, the way we play this upper hand thing, but most people playing this game because the lack of trust.
You gave them a hall pass. But the thing, but when I'm working with couples, no, we stop all of that differentiation of power immediately. And what we do is we're dealing with the hurt, right? So the first part is the man's job. He's got to build that trust. If she needs to look at the phone for however long, then that's what it is.
Yes.
We're dealing with the hurt. We're talking about the why, all of the stuff that he doesn't want to talk about, right? How this happened. We're getting to the root of it, right? So once we do all that and we support and validate, we have to validate and honor her feelings. Now her job is she has to let it go. We can't be going on and on about it. So that's the 2-part process with little processes in between. But people can absolutely get through infidelity. You can't do it playing those games, but you have to do something like what I was saying, validating, acknowledging, understanding, hearing it, right? And then the why, so that we can see, hey, how do I know this is not going to happen again? She has to feel emotionally safe to move forward. But then she's going to have to let that go. There's none of this bringing it up 5 and 6 years later. No. And
emotional safety.
Then that's her work.
Emotional safety. Nixon says
is a rich
Nixon says cheating is a rich man's sport. I don't know. It's a lot of broke dudes out there getting it in. Cheryl says, but men doesn't always communicate. But men don't always communicate their needs.
No, they don't. So
let's back up.
Hold on.
Put a pin in it on real quick.
Yeah. So if we saying that men don't always communicate their needs, is the woman going to listen to it? Because it's easy for us to be on her and say, yeah, the man do this, the man do that. But listen, it takes two. We both share as much. Let me see. My cheating is just as much her fault as it is my fault, because there are signs that I'm not happy. There are signs that something is going on, and it's up to both of us. It's just as much her responsibility to say, hey, listen, what's going on? Is it something that I need to do? Now, so let me ask you this. Am I lying to you? Am I wrong about it being both our responsibility? It's being both our fault because we both sharing this thing.
Yeah, so I don't use the word fault, right? I use cause and effect for real.
Okay.
Right? So I use cause and effect. There's absolutely causes on both sides of people being unhappy or discontented or whatever, but I'm still going back to, you have choices in what you
Yes.
do with
Okay.
that.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you're not going to tell me, well, you made me cheat because no. I didn't.
Right.
I didn't say maybe
unhappy.
cheat.
Yeah. See
Yeah,
what you made me do?
you chose to cheat, homie. But you know what I'm saying? I get that I was whatever. But you chose to cheat. You could have chose to bring me to therapy.
Now, but you know something?
Bring me to
That's
therapy. All right, I'm
men.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yes.
Men have been playing that
See,
game. Men
I'm
have
gonna
been
need her
playing
to
that game.
calm down a little bit on her end over there.
Men have been playing that game since the beginning of time. Because Adam put that whole thing off on Eve. He said it was that woman you gave me.
That you
But that's
that
the
he
whole
was
thing.
enjoying. Mhm.
Right. Cheryl says, "Why do we need signs when we are married?" Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. And I caution wives. Outside of the serious communication, you got to be careful how you handle, because he's checking communication the whole time, even off regular stuff. If you're dismissive of simple things,
Yes.
he's not going to bring the heavy stuff to you.
Yes.
If you anyway ridicule or do something, you got to be careful how you handle him outside of the serious conversations. It's just like if a woman walks by her husband and she pat his stomach, said, "Ooh, that's all she said." Now he's become self-conscious and he starts to withdraw because he's already feeling some kind of way about it. And then you might just be, woo, we're gonna do something, and it goes wrong. You got to be careful how you handle people outside of the serious. So when it's time to have a serious conversation, now it's like, you gonna talk to me? He already feels like I can't. I'm not gonna give you anything else that you can use to, Dr. Selena says signs. Why would we look at signs when you have a whole mouth? You don't listen to me use it any other time.
She let
I'm
that
just saying.
whole up. She's right, though. No, but you know what? She's 100% right. We have got to say what we need. I don't care how long you've been with your person.
Yeah.
The only thing that you know are their actions. You do not know their thoughts. You do not know their feelings. You know their actions.
We should have got a guy. This is not working out like I thought it was going to work out at all.
It ain't working out for you.
Okay, we got comments. Okay.
We got
And
comments.
he said at all. Okay, it ain't working out. It's not that it's just not working out at all. Okay, so the thing is, right, is that we have to be able to speak what we need. Now we should be asking our partner. One of the most powerful questions, right, is, what do you need? That could be at the beginning of the day. Do you need anything from me today? That could be during the day. I'm going to stop by the store. What, do you need anything? That could be at the end of the day. Baby, what do you need?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Easy question.
Easy question.
Yeah, that is. That is.
Easy question.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Okay. Is it working better? Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Tiny bit.
It is. It is. It is.
Thank you.
All right. Listen, people are blowing up the comments. We want to get to some real quick. We're going to get to some comments. Make sure we catch people because they are part of this conversation. They talking a whole lot today, though.
I know they are.
They are talking.
I thought they would be.
A whole lot today. Monique says, right, we need communication. We will work with, and most of the time, stay in the marriage even after we know they've cheated. Cheryl says, men get caught up too. Yeah, absolutely.
Those are true. Yeah.
Weta says, a lot of these men make promises that they are going to leave their wives a year or so, and he haven't left her. The side chick confronts the wife.
I'm trying to tell you, that's the risk.
Yeah.
When you don't, she has nothing to lose.
Yes. Nita says, that's hard to regain emotional safety or trust. You ain't lying. It takes too much energy to play the power game. It's probably best to leave, but talk about it first so there's no unfinished business. Cheryl says, keyword is conversation. Talk about it. And let me say this. There's this perception that men aren't great communicators. And that's false.
That's lies.
I think that's false too. It's false.
Yeah. We are great communicators. And women think they are. Women are good at talking.
And they terrible.
But talking is not communicating all the time.
They terrible.
Terrible. Not even. We're terrible at it. Okay.
Okay. Because Celia says, easy question when you says, what do you need? Is it that when you ask the question, you interpret, or the reaction to the question is what you're really looking for? Not the answer, but the reaction to the question. Like if you ask that question and they're slow to give an answer, where's the hesitation coming from?
They don't know.
Why? Why they don't know?
Yeah.
Why would they not know?
There is a hesitation sometimes because people are not used to that question being asked.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It's like, well, what do you need? Right. And it's like, well, what's she asking me? Wait, what do I need? And sometimes women don't know. I'll ask the wife, well, what do you need from him? And then she's looking like she don't know. And I'm like, well, what are y'all arguing about? If needs are not being, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't feel like you have a need that's being unmet, what's really going on here? You know what I mean? But it's a powerful question because look at what's in that question. It's submitting to whatever you're to what they're saying. It's showing that you care. It's sort of implying that you're about to give them an act of service, which is a love language. It's I mean, there's so much packed into that. What do you need? I'm going to act on your behalf. I want to take a load off you, whatever. There's a lot in that question. And plus you're going to get information from your spouse. Like I do want to say, if I can, about what you were saying, about the fact that men do communicate. They absolutely communicate when they feel safe enough to do so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because we need that safety too.
Yes, you do. You need that safety to be able to open up and speak to us, right? So that we don't react, but we respond. Right.
So what we need really, guys, is you feel safe enough to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
We need you to like this, share this, and subscribe.
Even though it didn't go your way.
Yes. Absolutely. We still need you to like, share, and subscribe. If you're enjoying the conversation and you getting anything out of it and you think it's enjoyable, and most importantly, you want somebody else to hear it. Like, share, and subscribe, because again, we're trying to do some phenomenal things with the show, but we need your help in order to do it. So back to unveiling the other woman, the other woman's point of view.
We had a comment I want to get real quick.
Okay.
Who was that?
Yeah. All right. So C. Fitzroy, she says, because they don't really mean it or they don't want to be bothered. They got lost context now, so but that's fine. That's fine.
What do you need? Comment maybe. They don't really mean it. Don't want to be bothered.
Yeah. Oh.
Or maybe you don't talk. Maybe that's for that one that we think that men don't talk.
But even if it does mean that, by you asking, now the pressure is on the person that you ask to let you know what they need. Because oftentimes we'll say in divorce, they'll say, well, we couldn't get along. They wouldn't give me what I need. Like you said, what is it that you need? What is it going to take to make you happy? Which is a misconception anyway in relationships. Nobody's happy, so stop it. Nobody's happy. But again, what do you need? What do you need?
What do you need? But here's you were jumping on something that's one of my favorites, right? There's a quote that says, "I know you think you understand what you thought I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant." I just want to say it one more time.
Yeah, say that one more time.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to get that snippet.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it like this. I know you think you understand what you thought I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant.
Wow.
So we were talking to a couple last night, and they asked us, what was the most important thing of my marriage? And I said to him, I said, remember that person is talking to you from their heart, that they'll never do anything to willingly hurt you or harm you. And you got to know they're saying it with their heart. And that's how you have to hear it. Oftentimes we get caught up on what we think or what the mood we in, or how we feeling at that particular time, and not really concentrating on what the person's saying, and more importantly, what was really meant by when they said it. And we get caught up in our own feelings. I think that is really, really good. That's really good. You might need to just say that one more time, but that is really, really good. It's actually
Alan Greenspan's quote, by the way.
Alan Greenspan.
Alan
Okay.
Greenspan.
All right.
I know you think you understand what you thought I said, but I'm not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant. That is, listen, that is so huge because that happens consistently.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right.
Because we make assumptions about people because we know them so well, right? So we make assumptions, but our assumptions may not be factual. And now we're acting based on those assumptions.
Yeah. We know them so well. That is so good.
Yeah.
Yes, that is really good. That is really good.
Right.
Yes.
Cheryl says women talk all the time. The problem is understanding the conversation. Comprehension is everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So getting back to the other woman, because that communication.
Somebody wrote a book.
Karen. Let me get Karen's comment.
Let's
need to
figure
stop
out
that, Karen. Let's be writing like that.
Karen says, my sister had a male supervisor once who was nice, but an hour before their shift would end, his wife, who worked a different shift, would come to the job and yell at my sister to go home because she would finish the shift. Although my sister didn't like the way the wife was mean to her, she didn't mind going home early and still get paid for the hour. She complained to another co-worker, and they told her the wife didn't like her because the man was her supervisor at one point, but she was married. Oh,
so the wife was the side chick.
Yes.
Got married to him, and now it's like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
That's how she got on.
That's how she got on.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
See, you say, ooh.
She seen it, was like, bacon and eggs. No.
Yes.
Weta says texting can really be misinterpreted because you're reading the text in your mind frame.
That's
right.
Exactly
Right. You interpret it with your feelings. They ain't roll their neck at all doing the text, but you sure gonna catch some neck roll when you read it and everything. So right. Absolutely.
Yes. So what about, did you want to talk about mental health?
Yes. How does it impact women in their mental health?
So we're going to talk about the other women who have feelings for the man, right? Because the ones that don't really have feelings for him, and it's just he's a side dude, right? Or he's something to do or whatever. They're really, I mean, I think as a woman, there is a mental health issue that would have you at a certain age in a certain position in your life. We have stages of development. It's like there's a stage of development that you have not reached. Now, I'm not saying that all women want to be married, and I'm not saying that. But for the number of women that we have out there just sitting in side piece position, there's an issue, right? But now the mental health of someone who has to sit and know that she is in love with a man, she is attached to a man that she cannot have when she needs him, that he has to get up and leave, that he has to take phone calls outside of her, you know what I'm saying, outside of where she is. So that then starts to eat away at her self-esteem. What is my value? And none of this has to be, on a conscious level either. It can be conscious and subconscious, but it eats away at the value of why can't I, you know what I'm saying? I want him to be here with me. He's choosing to be there, even though he tells me it's this and it's that. He's still choosing to be there instead of being with me. So women go through a lot in this situation. A lot.
Yes. Yes. Nita says, I was called me or my everything, but still got cheated on. Once we talked about it, I asked, what did I do? He said, it was not you, it was me, him. I like different women for different reasons. Nothing to do with you. You're great. Make that make sense.
But you wasn't great though.
Oh shoot.
Now hold on.
You care?
Oh no. When somebody says you were great, no. There was the issue there that he either didn't want to talk about, tried to talk about and couldn't, or just went past it. Again, he had the 4 or 5 different things that she said earlier, which I don't remember. The fourth thing, I just remember the last one was cheating. And he decided that's how he was going to handle it.
Yeah.
But no, that him saying that you were perfect is him trying to spare. This sounds crazy. Trying to spare your feelings in what he was doing and say it didn't have nothing to do with you. Yeah, it did. It had something to do with both of y'all. More him than you, but both of you guys had issues within that.
Yeah.
Aren't there some that just want a variety? Aren't there?
I think to a certain degree there are some.
We don't have to say how many, but just aren't there some that just want a variety?
Yeah. But they don't get married though. When they want a variety, they don't get married.
They get married and still want a variety.
Yeah, but
and they typically marry somebody who understands.
We can't
Not like that. Nick said, that's a rich man's game. Because you got rich men that play that game. But the woman, there is some level of agreement to the arrangement. She knows who he is. She knows what he's capable of. I remember watching this movie one time, this TV show, and this guy was running for like governor. And he is out there clowning. Yeah, he is straight clowning. I remember that. And the show was called Boss. But this young guy, he's out there, he's sleeping with all these women. And it wasn't until some pictures showed up and it went public. And she said, listen, I put up with all of this because you supposed to make me a first lady.
And you're supposed to keep this in house.
She's supposed
to follow you home.
Yeah. So once it starts spilling out like this, we got a problem. She didn't have a problem with that because she was just looking for the status and position of where he was going. How often does that happen?
Now, let me say this to Nita. Nita has in the comment, but y'all are great communicators. And I stand on that. And let me say this. If you're trying to say that he didn't say anything to you and you were blindsided, you couldn't be further from the truth. Because there were signs and there was conversation that, because most of the time when people do this, they're doing it in your face. They're not doing it behind your back. And you should have recognized whether you were too busy or you weren't paying attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
Could he have said it directly? Could he have said, listen, we're having a problem in this marriage. We're not having enough sex. We're not whatever. And this is a problem because I'm struggling here.
I just wish we had like another hour. Because I'm saying, because if he had said that to her, would she have said, okay, we're going to have some more sex?
Safety.
Or would she have said, listen, I am doing all I can. I got this going. I got that going. You know, I'm over here. You know what? You're going to get excuses most of the time.
But hold on. If those things are the truth, now the two of you have to problem solve. Because those things might actually be the truth. Wow. I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. And you want me to swing from the chandelier at the same time? Like, let's problem solve. Let's problem solve.
Yes. Okay.
Weeda says majority of side chicks have a codependency. Just got to have a man. And okay, Cheryl says if they want variety, they shouldn't be married. 100%. He's not ready, but he didn't say it. He cheated instead.
Right.
That's gonna be enough from Cheryl.
And that's the thing, is communication, and that's what I work on with couples a lot.
That's huge.
Is the because you don't even have to get to that point.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yes. And communication is not talking. Somebody said it in there too. It's actually landing your point, and they're landing their point with you, which requires a lot of check-in. But when you have a lot of communication, you have a lot of intimacy. This is real in a marriage, a lot of communication, a lot of intimacy. There is an extreme amount of grace. And so
Oh, wow.
it just rolls easier.
Let me get Monique says the point is you have to try, despite what you think she might say after you ask for more sex. Yes, problem solved.
Problem solved.
Or
Yes.
we just lost him. Mika says we'll never know because he chose to cheat instead of talk. Don't land your point. That was a good one. Land your point. And that communication with your spouse, land your point.
Make sure
all right, it's last comment because we rolled this hour through. Paula says, I have a friend where her brother is married and he invites his side piece, to the family gatherings. And the wife knows. They've been married so long. I think the wife has just accepted it. Wow.
How do you end the show? How do we end this topic on that? We can't. There's so much more to it.
You know, it's amazing. We couldn't get a woman on to talk about it, but they so lighten up them comments.
They lighten it up.
They lighten up the comments.
Because we done all been the woman who was cheated on, it sounds like, in here. And we like, hold up, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a special one for guys too, because we're not
gonna
play like because guys go through. Yeah.
I think the misconception is we are wrong. Let me say this: we are wrong by doing this, by putting women in this situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But so this is another whole nother show. I want to say because we can't be in love with two people at one time.
Oh.
But that's another show. That's another show. You don't think we can?
On that? I really need a show on that because I don't know the answer to that, and I've really wanted to know that. I really wanted to explore that.
You definitely can have feelings for two people.
Feelings, but in love, it's different.
Well, you can be in love with one of them and love the other one, and then it'll switch.
I can see that. I actually see what you're saying. Yeah. I can see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
So
this has been good. So we're down to our final thoughts. So
okay,
Miss Genesis, it's on you.
Well, let me just say this was fun and amazing tonight. You know, I learned a lot. From the way you guys were even asking the questions, like some of the stuff that you really just didn't know about how we think and what the other side of this is. I have fun. I have to tell you, I have fun, and I learned, and I loved the comments that were coming in. You can see that most of the women felt the same way, and I could identify with my sisters there. But I just have to tell you, this was a great show, guys. I'm glad that you did it. I think a lot of information was put out there that can help a lot of people understand this better.
Okay, so my final thought is this: y'all women, y'all showed out tonight, and I need y'all to go outside in the backyard and find a switch tree, and I need y'all to pick y'all own switches and switch y'all legs because y'all showed out today. Y'all showed out. Y'all know this is Man Talk Monday. This is not Women Talk Monday. This is Man Talk Monday, and y'all showed out. But in all seriousness, I would hope that everybody learned something today, because there was enough information that was shared. Man, there were bits and points that I think that were great for us. And I think we got to have her back on. As much as my man spirit is rising up,
right?
I think we got to have her back on. and that's my final thought.
No, absolutely. This has been a great conversation. And you know what? I see people, they brag about their jobs, they brag about how much they've accomplished and everything. But when it comes to relationships are the great equalizer. I don't care how much you've done. I don't care how smart you are, what kind of pedigree you have. Relationships will humble you.
Yes.
They will humble you. And it's that fear of being vulnerable to a situation that you can't control that makes relationships so frightening.
Yes.
And I think the side chick issue was created because what's happening inside here is too much for me to admit that I can't handle. And so I'm looking for relief in ways I can find it. And so it's just, but it creates so much turmoil, and there's a domino effect in the whole nine. So we gotta do better. So we wanted to offer the perspective of the other woman to know that she's a person who has feelings, who has things that she's going through, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the woman to even be put in that situation. And trust me, we're gonna get into all the aspects, because the kids of that woman, and just we're gonna get into all of that because it needs to be said. So that's my final thoughts. Okay. Thank y'all. The Shattered Buns series. So this is episode 1. Next week we're gonna get into the wife, her point of view. All right. Monique says a great deal to learn. Great show. Rita says, if I had known what the topic was last week, I would have definitely come. Beverly says, you are so right about that. She says, Rita says, awesome show. Great information and show. Listen, Miss Genesis, you great.
Thank you.
Information.
Awesome job.
Awesome job. We definitely appreciate everything you shared. Thank you for agreeing to be on.
Listen, I had fun, guys. I did. This was fun.
We're glad.
Yeah, we try to make it fun.
I'll come back.
Okay. Listen,
I got a lot up in here to share. So
okay. All right. We're gonna definitely do that, because as we go through this, we touching on some sensitive stuff. So we're gonna need that therapist around. So we're gonna definitely get back with you. Listen, everybody, don't forget, share this out. We have our audio version as well that you can find on Apple, Google, Spotify, all those different platforms. We upload a new episode every week. So this episode, we're going to upload this week as well, so you can listen at your leisure. But let somebody know if you like the conversation, if you like what we're talking about, share it out with somebody. Don't let us be the best kept secret. We don't want to be the best kept secret.
Yeah, those companies go out of business.
Right. Right. So listen, thank y'all for hopping on with us, having this conversation with us. We appreciate y'all for sharing your time with us. We're gonna catch y'all next week. So be back. All right, peace out.